Hillary Clinton is expected to testify next week before a House committee about the deadly attacks on the U.S. diplomatic compound in Benghazi, Libya, 3 years ago. She was Secretary of State at the time. A longtime aide to Clinton was questioned for several hours yesterday in a closed-door session of the House committee investigating the attacks. The assault is also the focus of a federal trial in Washington.
Ahmed Abu Attallah is charged with carrying out the attack, which killed the U.S. ambassador and 3 other Americans. Yesterday, he appeared in court for the first time since January. CBS News Justice reporter Paula Reed is here now with more. Paula, good morning.
Good morning.
So this is the guy that's responsible for all of it, and I feel like we're hearing so much more about Hillary Clinton and her aide. Why isn't this getting more attention?
Well, it got a lot of attention when he first came here last summer, but that was over a year ago. And since then, there haven't been many hearings in this case, any public hearings anyway. This was his first appearance, as you said, since January, and not a lot really transpired in this hearing. They heard a few motions. Most of the attention has been on how U.S. officials handled the events in Benghazi. But make no mistake, this is the #1 terrorism case pending in the U.S. right now.
What exactly was Atallah's role in the attacks, Paula?
According to the Department of Justice, he was the ringleader of this extremist militia group that carried out this attack. And according to court documents, they say that his role was to turn away emergency responders who arrived on the scene. And he also oversaw the plunder of these facilities. Now, he has entered a plea of not guilty, and his lawyers contest a lot of these allegations.
How hard is it to convict someone in a crime like this?
It's so hard to try foreign terror suspects in U.S. courts. This isn't the Boston bombing where you have hundreds of cameras and dozens of willing, able witnesses who were on the scene. There's a lot of classified material involved in this case, and defense attorneys are saying they're not getting a lot of this information. They're saying, the government is handing over a lot more information on Benghazi in these Hillary Clinton email FOIA requests than they are in this criminal, potentially a death penalty trial. So this really is a test for the administration, not just for how they handle the events in Benghazi, but also for whether or not they actually can successfully try foreign terror suspects in U.S. courts.
There are no cameras in the courtroom, but you were there yesterday. What was Atallah's demeanor in court?
He's quiet and attentive. He's silent. You don't see him interact with his attorney. He listens to the proceedings through a translation headset. At one point, he took notes. At this point, he's not using these proceedings as a soapbox.
Do you think the Department of Justice will go after the death penalty, as is the chorus from so many people, what they want to see happen?
Well, yesterday in the hearing, the Department of Justice said they expect Attorney General Loretta Lynch to make a decision about whether or not to pursue the death penalty in this case by next spring. Once she makes that determination, then they can set a trial date, likely later next year or in 2017. Now, that's 4.5, 5 years after these attacks.
Paula Reed, thank you so much. The Benghazi investigation will be front and center tomorrow morning on Face the Nation right here on CBS. John Dickerson's guests will include the House Committee Chairman, Representative Trey Gowdy, Republican of South Carolina, and the committee's ranking Democrat, Elijah Cummings of Maryland.